Alright guys, Mizzle Shizzle back again. We're still in Act 3 trying to get through this. Oh, and I picked up that white chest piece that I threw down a while ago. Anyway, so no sense in wasting. Let's go ahead and just get in here and get to it. Hopefully we can get pretty far to where it ain't gonna take too much longer. That was a big kaboom. Hopefully we get through this pretty quickly to where we can get this act a little bit faster than we have been with some of the other ones.
Yes, but for how long?
Don't worry.
And I should have grabbed the book before I talked to her, because I think you actually get a book before you talk to her. You get another one after you talk to her, but I kind of made a mistake.
It was like I was watching them.
But it's alright.
What is the Soulstone doing to me? Asmodan must die soon. Then I will be myself again. I have secured Bastion's keep. But the final battle is still waiting for me where Asmodan's war machines are closing in.
You know, guys, I really wish I could mute this commentary every once in a while just so I can give Disciple a peace of mind. Hopefully here soon, whenever we get ready to do the Hellfire tutorial, I guess you could say. Hopefully we'll get them in to where y'all can actually hear them, and may have to do a little bit of beeping out some of his language. He has a potty mouth. So when y'all get a chance, go ahead and hit him up on Xbox again and let him know he needs to watch his language. I might end up getting you spammed before this all over with, Disciple. Oh, we started an event, didn't even mean to. Oh, maybe. Oh, well. Got a yellow amulet to see, it very well could be better. Let's see once I put a gem in it, but as of right now, this Moonlight Ward is doing amazing, so I'm not gonna knock it, try to get rid of it or anything just yet. Oh, hello. Alright, got some movement speed. I can run like the wind. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. Knocked me way back there.
From this land.
We couldn't hold on. There were just too many of us. The men are losing hope.
Woo, I hit level 30.
All times, day or night, and no amount of casualties.
Alright, that means I unlocked another passive skill slot, so I'll be able to add another passive skill. I already know which one I have in mind. I've been just waiting on it. It probably ain't gonna help me out too much with this crossbow, but whenever I was in between videos, I went ahead and crafted some bows, so I'll be able to check it out and see which one is gonna be my best bet here in a minute. So let me get all these guys cleared out. Okay, so let's start off by trying to figure out which bow is going to be the best. Let's list me one of these two. And looks like we have a winner. Okay, so over here I'm going to go ahead and put me in one of my rubies, because with weapons, always, you should put rubies in just because, well, I should say at a lower level, you want to make sure to put rubies in any socketed weapons, just because the fact of it increases the damage tremendously. Um, However, once you start getting into some of the higher levels and you start getting your critical hit chance up, you can actually put in emeralds, because the emeralds actually give you a little bit of critical hit damage. So you'll notice whenever I get leveled up to level 60 and I get on some of my other characters, maybe whenever doing the um, Hellfire Ring tutorial, you're gonna notice most of my weapons have emeralds in them, just because of the fact of most of my characters have a really high critical hit damage chance, that I run emeralds so I can get that little bit extra damage. But also, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and attach my next passive skill. One of the best passive skills that I think I've found so far for the Demon Hunter is going to be this archery passive skill. Because if you notice down here, when you're using a bow, it's going to give you automatically a 15% increased damage increase for you. If you're using a crossbow, it's going to give you a critical hit damage, along with a regular hand crossbow is going to give you a critical hit chance. So, it just really depends on what you're going to be using, but since I like using a bow better than anything, it really helps me out because it's going to give me a big boost in my damage. Like if you notice, I was at 7,900, I believe, damage a little bit ago. Just by adding that skill, my damage went up to 8451. So, that's a great skill. Ouch. And you're gonna notice now, things are really gonna. They were dropping before, but now just barely even touch them and they just fall. Oh, there's a book.
Minions. My brothers grow impatient within the Soul Stone. Yes, I can hear them, even down here. Their voices are so pitiful and small that they almost amuse me. Yet, they are my prize, not the Nephilims, or the girls for that matter. This is not her time. This is the age of sin.
Okay, so pretty much what that book was kind of doing was giving everybody heads up on they were on our way, so get ready for us. Try to make sure they stop us. I don't think it's gonna happen. At least I hope it doesn't happen. Because so that means I'm gonna lose my character. But in this little area here, we have to run around and find these demonic ballistas, and there's one big trebuchet that we have to take out. This area's kind of pain because sometimes they all spawn right next to each other. So you may go around the whole entire map before you ever find them. Sometimes you run into all of them real quickly. Oh. Hopefully that'll be better. Probably not. There's the first ballista taken down. But whenever you take down the ballista, you're going to have a bunch of creatures come spawning in. So make sure you're prepared for whenever that happens. And right here is going to be the big main trebuchet that it's talking about. I just go up and just shoot it as well. Now let's see if we can't get around and find this last ballista. Because here in a second, when we get a little closer, you'll probably be able to see the area that we have to go to once we find this last ballista, which is right here. But until you find all three ballistas and the trebuchet, it won't let you actually pass. So let's just keep looking around, see if we can't find this third and final one. And watch out for those things. Throw some little bombs at you. And looks like here it is. Oh, and there it goes.
My siege weapons to slay you. You stand in the middle of the army of hell. It will crush you.
Then why am I still alive? Scores of your troops have perished by my hand, and now you're next.
So now he's sitting there trying to tell us that he don't need those ballistas and trebuchets to take us out. He's still gonna do it, but then we got another thing coming.
I couldn't. Great work. Forward, friend.
Then we should fight together. Honor us, sir.
Okay, so now we gotta sit there and make our way across this bridge to get to the next area. The next area will be getting a lot closer to taking on our next little mini boss, which is gonna be Cydia. It's kind of like the last stand before we get to Asmodan. So hopefully, oh, I'm sorry, I am mistaken. I was just reminded there is one other little mini boss we gotta take on, which, whew, I almost got frozen. Which is kind of a pain. And not so much on the first playthrough, but as you start going through, you're going to notice with the next little mini boss that we actually do take on, the Siege Breaker. He does do what's called reflective damage, so anything that you do to him, like any damage that you inflict on him, it kind of gives a portion of that back to you. So you have to be really careful. You can't just sit there and go all out on him, because sometimes that will actually come back and bite you, because you end up losing most of your life just from hitting him without him even hitting you. So just giving you heads up on the other playthroughs. Like I said, with this first playthrough, I don't think he really has reflective damage. If so, it's not enough to really notice. So we'll plow through him pretty quickly. Oh, come on. I was hoping my spider was going to take him out. And they just keep on coming at me. This area here is also loaded with a lot of monsters, so you may want to take your time going through here as well. And can I hit that guy? That Tyrael was it, or Tyrael was right there to kind of help with my back. Holy moly, that's a lot of people right there.
Praise you.
Yeah, that was 65 monsters in that one little area, guys. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get a bunch of them piled up sometimes. So, you know, don't rush in. Take your time when you come through here. Ease up, because you may have to retreat a little bit, come back a little bit, take out a few of them, move back up, retreat.
You won't survive that.
Let's go up here and let's just see. Sometimes there's some chests and things up here. I have actually gotten legendaries from these little racks. And that's where it comes back to. You never know where you're going to get one. It is literally a random drop. So, I wish I could tell y'all exactly where to go to look for legendaries. And if y'all figure it out, please, by all means, let me know. Because we have tried everything. We tried boosting our magic find way up to see if it would help. Sometimes it feels like it does because we get a little bit more drops, but at the same time, sometimes you just don't.
Eldruin will destroy the demonic seal protecting this gate.
And this here, guys, is the Siege Breaker. Like I was saying, for the first playthrough, he doesn't really have reflective damage, but once you get into Nightmare and Hell mode, you actually will start running into the issues of coming across him doing reflective damage. It does really hurt. I've actually almost lost a couple characters from taking him on and not paying attention to my health and hitting him a little too hard, too fast. So it's giving you heads up on that. Your best bet is the... Oh, I thought I was about to freeze up there. But the good thing is, like, if you're playing with friends, it's always good to have a monk with you. A monk, you can actually get one of their skills. It once you get it leveled up, I should say, and have the skill with you. One of the mantras is a mantra of healing, and what that'll do is whenever you get leveled up high enough, you can actually give your allies, which is your friends and stuff, or your friends giving it to you, but you can actually give them health regeneration as well, which kind of helps out whenever you're taking on some of the bigger guys and they're hitting you. Your health will regenerate a lot faster, make it a lot easier for you to stay alive. But I mean, each of the characters that they have some kind of skill that normally will help out your allies with the ruins that they have for them. I'm not sure about the Demon Hunter. If so, I haven't exactly figured out what it is just yet. I haven't really played with Demon Hunter a lot. It is not one of my favorite characters, simply because, I mean, it can do a lot of damage, but it's really hard to get the armor up on the Demon Hunter, so you really have to, use it effectively, because the fact of it does have a lot of damage and you can take stuff out far away. It's kind of nice, but you really need other players with you to be up front to kind of distract all the enemies, because he just really cannot take a punch. That's why that's another reason why I kind of decided to do a Demon Hunter when I did this playthrough, just to show you, kind of to try to stay back as much as possible.
Your misbegotten kind is creation's greatest sin, but your time is done. You will find only death in my realm.
Okay, Asmodan, you don't scare me. But anyways, like I was saying, so I'm kind of trying to show you, try to stay back, shoot things from afar. Because if you get in, especially if you get in right in the middle of a big group, you can take a lot of damage really fast with the Demon Hunter. It literally does not take a hit very well. Versus like the Barbarian is great for being up close, but that's where all of his power comes in, because he has to get close to hit things. Oh! Yeah, see, that could have been really bad. Those explosions, if you notice, my health dropped a pretty good bit. Good thing I have some good life regen, and I hit a little health globe as I was going through all that stuff. All it takes is one little mistake, especially with the Demon Hunter, man. It takes one good hit like that with the Demon Hunter, and I mean, it can end your Demon Hunter really quickly. I mean, I'm not saying that wouldn't actually kill some of the other characters as well, but they can actually take a lot more hits than a Demon Hunter. Simply, I mean, especially like I was saying with the Barbarian. The Barbarian is probably the highest armored character of all. But like also with the Monk, you can get a lot of elemental resistance and things, so it kind of really helps out. Also, keep the Monk alive. So if you're really trying to test this out the first time, I would really recommend probably one of those two characters, just simply because of the fact that they're easier to keep alive than some of the others. But at the same time, it's your game, guys. Y'all do as y'all wish. I mean, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of helpful hints as I go. I mean, because I can't say that my first character that I actually lost was a Barbarian. Um, I still chalk it up to playing with Disciple and his lag from his game, but he still tries to blame it on me. So we agree to disagree. And this is the area I was talking about earlier, guys, in my other episodes. When we go to take on Cydia, we have to sit there and go down these little towers to get to her. Here in a minute, you're going to notice, because we're going to get to her,
See that massive demon just off of our path?
and you'll see exactly what I mean. Oh, leveled up again.
Taking its skin off in large sheaths. They use it to build their terrible structures. Acquire a new skill.
Hey, 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 don't be sneaking up on me. Okay, here we go, guys. Here's the last little level before we get to Cydia the first time.
Dying.
If I can manage to make it through quick enough, we may actually get to this act in this episode. I'm not gonna promise nothing because you know, I don't want to make the videos too long. Like I was saying before, you know, I just don't want to, you know, start to disinterest you just from the videos being too long. Plus, it also helps keeping you coming back if you really want to watch to see where I go. So it kind of works out in both of our favors. Because I know sometimes you want to watch videos, but you don't have a whole lot of time. So this kind of helps get you through, so you don't have to pause it and come back in again. Oh my goodness. No!
You won't survive that.
Man, they just like all came up from every direction.
Their eternal anguish.
And see, that's what I'm saying, guys. I mean, if y'all don't have the firepower that I have and you were to come across that...
My pack is full.
Oh, and we are full. Let me see, make sure I don't have no whites or anything. I'd rather pick up a yellow anytime over a blue just because it is better crafting materials that you get from yellows. So I will drop a blue to pick up a yellow. The only reason I did it just because of the fact that we're right here. I want to go ahead and take her on now to get this started. As you see, I mean, she's not taking any more damage, even though I'm sitting there hitting her over and over and over. It's just impossible to beat her this first time through. As much as I wish I could, it just won't let us.
I need more hatred to do that.
This is what I was talking about before. Now that we beat this, now we're going to have to go back through and do that same whole area all over again. As soon as I get done killing all these people.
My bag is too heavy.
The only thing that's good is you won't have to take on the siege breaker again, but as for all the other area, you will actually have to go back through. It is a little time consuming. Oh, and let's just go over here. Especially because you're like, oh man, I finally got to it, I'm ready to beat it, and then all of a sudden, it's like a big troll. You just get stuck having to go back through a loop again. But before I go through here, I'm actually go back to town real quick and try to empty my inventory some. So if anything else drops, I can actually pick it up. So now whenever I'm going through, just to give you an idea, I sit there and try to go through and mark everything as junk before I go over to salvage things, just because I can look through and make sure there isn't something I actually really want. Oh, that would have been one thing I could have dropped. Because especially if you set everything to junk before you go over there, you can actually just hit one button and salvage everything. Hey, I'm actually going to hold on to that ring. See, that's what I mean. I mean, sometimes you just don't know until you actually get in and look. And by going through and marking everything as junk, you can get a better idea of what you have before you go over here. Otherwise, you have to go through and salvage one thing after another. But if you look down at the bottom, you can push in on the right thumbstick and you know, it automatically salvage all your junk. So one click and everything's salvaged. Go ahead and put in my crafting materials in there. I'm actually gonna go ahead and check this ring before I go back as well. See, it is a little bit better. I will lose a little bit of my vitality, which is gonna drop my health amount down some. I gain about 80 damage, but I lose some armor and about 200 life. So I mean, it is a little bit better, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to the ring that I had, just because of that extra little bit of life and armor for just a little bit of damage. Sometimes you will find things that's gonna help out better in one aspect than the other. If you're really having a hard time killing things, I mean, of course you want to have as much damage as you can, but just remember, whenever you lose one thing to gain another, I mean, it may help you kill things a little bit faster, but if you get hit harder, then you know, you can lose your character just the same. So you have to kind of weigh your options and see which one would be better for you. And this wasn't the way to go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, don't think of it as, you know, something cut and dry, like, oh, well, that's better, so I'm going to do it. Because, I mean, I have toss-ups all the time trying to figure out what I should do. It's not always just, you know, real simple, oh, this is better, I'm getting it. Because even sometimes better, just because you find something just a little bit better, you know, if you lose some different attributes, like, say, if you have something that may give you just a little bit more damage and don't lose anything, but say you lose your attack speed. Well, you know, sometimes it's worth losing that little bit of damage for that attack speed just because you can attack things a little bit faster. It may not do quite as much damage, but the fact that you can hit them twice as fast, you know, it kind of counteracts each other. So you're going to have to make your own judgment calls when changing your equipment. Just trying to give you a little bit of insight on how I look at it whenever I'm trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do.
Bleed, you filth!
Even though I play this a lot, sometimes I still find myself trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. And hopefully we're going the right way here.
I learned much from that.
That was just a taste.
And this is what I was meaning before about this part's a real pain because you've already been through this area, but now it's changed. You have to go back through it again, and
Not enough hate.
it seems like it's a lot longer this time through. I don't know which way to go. I hate having a backtrack. Oh, well, it looks like we're going the right way anyways. Oh, back up. Stuff's blowing up.
Ambush. Soon my concubine will show you their true meaning.
Okay, Esmodan's once again trying to scare us off. But guys, looks like we're sitting here right at 30 minutes for this episode. So we're getting really close. We just have to go back through these towers a couple more times. But I think we can carry this on in the next episode. So until then, hit that like button, guys. Share with your friends. If you have any suggestions or comments you'd like to share, just go ahead and put them down there below. But until next time, guys.